Yes, sir. It's your boy Black Uchiha 3, and we back with the business. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Other than that, let's get right to the business. You feel me? There's a whole lot of controversy going around after the debut of Boruto episode opening 7 and the capping off of the Mujina Bandits arc with episode 151 finishing everything off. My guy Boruto whipping out a smooth Rasengan. And by the way, I don't know if I pointed this out in the previous video, but like when he did that Rasengan on Shojoji, he was low-key in a Kamehameha stance, bro. And it's like, that's crazy because I do know for a fact Ikimoto, whoever draws the Boruto manga, Ikimoto is like very hugely inspired by Akira Toriyama, who does Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. So it was like, it was cool, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm the only one who noticed that though, but my nigga Boruto hit him with a Kamehameha Rasengan. Anyways, a whole lot of controversy going on because everybody was able to see the episode review, episode summaries that have officially been released for episode 152 all the way up to episode 155, I believe, and then only having the title for episode 156. Man, people are pissed off. And the people who are pissed off because we got these episodes are the ones who decided to even jump back onto the Boruto bandwagon just because the opening started trending on Twitter. There's a couple who's probably disappointed, probably feel like we've been led astray, we've been run amok, we've been bamboozled. But mind you, Stephen A., that is actually not the case. Don't get your panties in a twist, bro. We have episodes 152 all the way up to 155, and we do know episode 152 will be focusing around, well, revolving around Sarada learning medical ninjutsu in this quick crash course, which is actually taught by Sakura. I'm actually pretty interested to see what's going down in that case. Now, finishing off for the month of April, we have all of the episodes, and then episode 156, the one episode that we don't have the full summary for, we just have the title for that, is starting off, I believe, May 3rd. That episode will be airing. So for the entire month of April, yeah, we will not get no Kara content. Now, that is aside if they decide to do like some small cameo appearances, like throughout the Chunin exam arc or even before the arcs. We see small instances where, you know, after the credit scene or maybe in the beginning of the anime or maybe somewhere in the middle, we get a little cameo of Momoshiki and Kenshiki in a different dimension. Mad cameos of freaking Orishiki and actually a few cameos of Toneri Otsutsuki. So I wouldn't be surprised if throughout the month of April we got a few cameos. Now, the only reason I'm saying that is be like, well, what would change from the whole 150 weeks that we already had? We didn't get no cameos of no Kara members except for the one shot we got of Kashin Koji during the Chunin exam art. What would change? Like, why would you expect a cameo all of a sudden, Black Lucia 3? Well, that's actually a great question, and I have a great answer for you. The fact that Boruto opening 7 literally means something. Now, obviously, other than the fact that shit is fire and we get to see all the Kara members, we even get to see mass silhouettes of Kawaki, it means for the mere fact that we will absolutely get to introduction of Kawaki, of the Kara organization, which we already got the introduction of the Kara organization, but the proper introduction, I should say, of the Kara organization and of Kawaki this year, 2020. Now, aside from the fact that Kishimoto did state this fact previously in the interview last year, saying that he's excited for 2020 because fans should be looking forward to the fact that they've been expecting the Boruto manga and anime to have two different stories since they've been wondering what's been going on. I don't know what fan will actually think it's two different stories. That's just something going on in your head. But the fact that 2020 rolls around, he's getting excited for the introduction of Kawaki, for the introduction of Kara, for the introduction of Jigen, Ao, and all of that stuff, and fans should look forward to it. Now, in the middle of nowhere, they just throw this opening on us. That is a good sign. Now, a lot of people are still disappointed, like, damn, they're really going to clickbait us like that. Mind you, how long we're going to have this opening out, at least for like the next couple of months. Now, we got the rest of the episode summaries released for April. Nothing serious going on. Actually, what most people would consider filler, despite the fact that Kodachi writes the manga and he oversees all of the writing for the anime, and it's all of his ideas. Literally, he just doesn't do the screenwriting. Despite that, people will still call it filler, so I'm not really even trying to get into that. You know, we got some anime canonical fleshed out episodes that'll be diving into Team 15, Team 5 with Iwabe and them, and then going into an episode I'm actually really excited for to see Himawari take a crash course. All these crash courses going on, so I guess like the technology really be affecting the Shinobi world. So Himawari is going to be taking a crash course, deciding on what type of career she wants to pursue, whether she wants to be a ninja or just go the scholarly route. And all of this good jazz is going on throughout the month of April, and everyone who decided to jump back in or just to peek your head through the hole after Boruto's opening 7 came out and they realized this is what we're going to be getting for the next month, they decided to run right back into their little ugly ass turtle shell and be like, oh, well, Boruto Shad, Boruto this, Boruto this. Now, I'm fine with that because honestly, despite the fact that I do want Boruto anime to gain the recognition and respect that it deserves, I honestly really don't want to end up like one of those fandoms where you just go on a random post for My Hero Academia or a random post for like One Piece or JoJo, and you just see these niggas ripping each other apart, and it's like, damn, aren't all of y'all like supporting the same? I'm not trying to see. Slowly we are turning into that though, Boruto community. So, you know, it's inevitable, it's unavoidable, but we can contain it and keep it as contained as possible as we can. Opening being aired officially, and then having these next couple of episodes be released, and having all of these translations be translated by Organic Dinosaur. Those of y'all who know, that's who I follow with my Boruto news and my Boruto spoilers on Twitter and on Reddit. With all of this information floating in the air, it's not far-fetched. It's not as far-fetched of an idea, and it's not even just like a speculation or a theory that I even happen to come up with. But words, you know, just linger around. I'm not trying to spread rumors on the channel, but it's not too far-fetched to automatically assume, because we do know once Boruto finish airing a major arc, they always have cooldown episodes. And for the most part, what happened after the Chunin exam arc? Literally a month of just cooldown episodes of nothing, and then they jump right in. Now I know most of y'all don't like it, but then they jump right into the Mitsuki arcs, people's eyes. But it's a good sign to see that, all right, we're gonna take the month of April. Just pay attention to the type of filler that we're getting though. I mean, I'm calling it filler. It's instinct. Damn it. Pay attention to the type of episodes that we're getting. Sarada, Inojin, characters like that from each team, focusing on medical ninjutsu. All right, boom. Then we got Team 15 and Team 5 working on missions and completing missions and having their inner struggles with how they're going about their missions. Boom. Himawari learning what it takes to become a ninja, all of that other stuff. Boom, boom, boom. 5 focusing on Mitsuki, Team 7. And one thing leads to another when Mitsuki's supposed to be taking care of his cat, but it ends up there on a real crazy ass mission based off of the summary. And then we don't have the full summary for episode 156. But if you just look at the pattern, it's like, okay, it's parts in each of these summary that's like, it could be interesting. But then at the same time, it's like, damn, bro, they really going to give us Kara. And then all of a sudden turn around to Team 15 and Team 5 failing and succeeding missions. Like, what the fuck is going on? I'll tell you exactly what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. It's called character development. Why? Because once this threat that we have already seen within the opening is upon us, we are going to have to feel for the characters that lose their lives in the upcoming episodes. Now, don't get me twisted and wrong. Like, I'm not trying to bring anything, like, none of this is going down in the manga or anything like that. But what would be the case if we saw Denki in episode 1, right? Back when Boruto first aired, and we haven't seen him again, and literally, this is just like, what if? And then what if we haven't seen him again literally until like 80 episodes later, and then he randomly dies that episode. All of a sudden, Boruto's so traumatically affected. How are we going to feel? We're going to be like, who the fuck cares about Denki? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, but we see Denki episode 1. Couple episodes later, we get another episode on him. Couple episodes later, we get another episode on him. Find out what he likes. Find out what he doesn't like. Find out what his dreams and ambitions are. And then boom, down the line. Now, I'm not saying I want Denki to die, but then boom, down the line, Denki gets slaughtered. Nigga, that shit hurting Boruto and us. So it's just the pattern that the Boruto animes take. Now, I said previously, it's going to be like a cool down transition. It's not too far-fetched to start expecting the Owl arc coming within the month of May leading into June, possibly even July. And I say that because I do intend on making a whole nother separate video just on why and when to expect the Owl arc. Keep it at that for like mid-May, June, July, until I release that next video where I go into more detail, because I'm not trying to drag this out too long. The big announcement for V-Jump to make, or whatever, or Kishimoto, Ikimoto, whatever they want to make about the huge news that they have regarding the Boruto series, whether it deals with the manga, whether it deals with the video game, whether it deals with the anime or novels, who knows, but we still have that announcement to look forward to. And it's crazy because right around the time where, like, normally it would be like this, where say we get through the month of April, and by the time it's like the last 2 episodes or the last 3 episodes, or even the last 1 episode of the episodes total list that we got the summaries of, by the time that episode comes around, they get ready to release the next summary or the next, I guess, official issue for the next month of episodes. Kind of like how they waited until after episode 151 aired, because this is more of a major arc, so a lot of people, of course, are going to be anticipating what's going on after that. But normally they would do like last episode of that issue or whatever in that month, and then they start to release the titles and the summaries for the next couple of episodes over the next month, so the next 5 or 6 episodes. And that's the trend that the Boruto anime typically takes. So now by the end of April, in the beginning of May, we should expect the next issue release for the episodes to come. Now, this is why I say people like us who are actually Boruto fans shouldn't be disappointed, even though a lot of the people in the community who aren't actually Boruto fans start bashing the shit and throwing people off who don't watch the anime or think about watching the anime, and now they're turned off because of all of this crazy fucking mixed reviews going around. That's why you guys shouldn't be disappointed, because I'm confident in the fact that by the time May comes around, June comes around, we will be getting more intriguing episodes that correlate with this new opening. Now, I already said I don't want to make this video too long. I am definitely gonna capitalize on that thought or that idea I just put out, and that basically revolving around the entire opening. Why did we get the opening at the time we did, and what it actually means for the fact that we got the opening, for the sheer fact that we got the opening. Typically, how long do Boruto openings last? Would be like, I don't know, I'm just gonna throw a random guess here, 3, 4, 5 months maybe, I think, until they change openings or until like the next official volume comes out or something like that. I'm not too familiar with the way that goes, but I would say I'm 99% confident before this latest opening, Boruto opening 7, is changed to opening 8, we'll get some type of information within the anime that correlates to the information or to the visuals, that correlates to the visuals that we see within the opening. Meaning, like I said earlier, cameo appearances, possibly by some Kara members, or a different way to introduce maybe certain Kara members, because we know how they were introduced in the manga. The anime has no reason whatsoever to follow the same route that the manga took in introducing the fucking Kara organization, even though they kind of did do the same shot that they did when Shoujoji mentioned them. It was the exact same shot in the manga where you see them looking at all those seals and stuff like that. But in the manga, they take it a step further. Later on in that exact same chapter, we get to see the Kara organization talking about whatever they want to talk about and whatever they got going on at that time being. Now, at the anime, the fact that they already threw these people in the opening, that just parallels with the fact that within that episode and within that chapter, at the end of the day, we're supposed to see Kara. So the anime onlys, if you're anime only, you ended up seeing Kara in the new opening. If you read the manga, you ended up seeing Kara by the end of that chapter when they're actually revealed and the scene transitions over to their hideout. So it's already clear that the anime is not really taking a different route, but doing what they typically do, which is what they did with the Mujin Bandits are in the Chunin exam arcs. They're gonna flesh things out and give it more time to build up, to add different elements into it, to add in order to have a better freaking overall impact and overall result with the community and the fan base. Because honestly, if you would ask the majority of the Boruto manga readers, those who watch the Mujin Bandits arcs throughout the anime, majority of them will say the anime version compared to the Chunin exam anime version shits on the manga version, but the anime version for the Mujin Bandit art actually it's way better than the manga version. I wouldn't say it shits on it though, but it's definitely way better than the manga version. Now, with this month of April coming to a quick end, hopefully, and then getting into May, we get through these next couple of transition episodes that are possibly going to be slow, but despite all of that, I'm still going to enjoy watching them for what they are. Once we get into the month of May, it's time to start looking forward to, okay, what's next with the Boruto anime, possibly even some type of novels or going straight into the out arc. Like I said, I'll touch on that in a much later video. There's a whole lot of routes they can take at that point, but the main thing is I wanted to address with this video is the fact that so many people got disappointed with seeing the episode summaries with episode 152 and 155. So this is why you guys shouldn't be disappointed. They know what they're doing, bro. Just calm down. They know what they're doing. This opening should just be closure enough to the fact that, all right, it's not the same. Now, if it was like a random ass like villain or random, like, say for instance, during the whole Mitsuki retrieval arc, fucking Boruto and even Shinki's squad was in the opening and they were fighting a fucking monster. It looked like everybody thought it was a synthetic tail beast or something. That had absolutely nothing to do with the arc whatsoever. The reason why this is absolutely different, because in this opening we are actually seeing villains who are relevant to the Boruto story. So it's hard to do clickbait with characters that are actually in your story. They have no choice but to follow along that path. So until the next video, and until more things are even cleared up with more releases and more translations being released, holla at your boy. I'm gonna holla at y'all, Black with 3. Don't forget to comment below. Let me know what you think of the video. Comment below. Let me know what you think of the upcoming episodes for Boruto, episodes 152 to 155. You really won't know what's going down with this new opening, like I said, other than possible cameo appearances. So until next video, holla at your boy. I'm gonna holla at y'all, Black with 3 out.